Hello there, people.
Gul'dan versus Malfurion.
I'm playing as a Warlock against a Druid. My deck is fairly peculiar, which is probably something you should have already gotten used to by now. I like weird decks. I'm Gul'dan the Hellfires. As much as I love the spell, I want more early game choices. Malygos hardly fits into this category, but he's still nice to have at the ready. A Mottled Coil, meanwhile, provides protection against any hyper-aggressive turn 1 plays. It retains its usefulness afterwards as a finishing blow, though can become a card-drawing 1-mana fireball should Malygos grace the field when it's thrown. At any rate, I play my early taunt. The entire idea behind this deck is to prevent my opponent from winning and myself from dying early on, with a few options for achieving victory afterwards. The bad news is that these options require me drawing specific cards and my opponent not countering them. The good news is that I only need to win once in a given match, so as long as all of them don't fail, I'm fine with some falling short. Sure, he's got Nat Pego on the field. I'm not concerned. I have ways of dealing with him, but don't feel like it. What my opponent needs are creatures on the field, ones that can attack. I'm fine with him drawing some extra cards, as long as I can keep buying time. Speaking of creatures, I now have a bevy of bold wiping options at my disposal. I know that Wild Growth can be a scary thing to go up against, especially in combination with card draw. This means that my opponent will both have things to play and the resources to play them with. Moreover, he will have choices. He will have options due to the variety of cards in his hand. There is one and only one way to deal with such a threat, by making efficient trades. The second Wild Growth, by the way, frightened the hell out of me. This should also be where you come in, wondering how the hell I am supposed to defeat a guy with more mana crystals and more cards. Except that Nat has failed to give him even a single additional card this entire time. I'm not in bad shape card-wise. Hell, I have card advantage. I'm even dealing more damage than him, a single point with my Voidwalker instead of nothing at all. You might be wondering why I'm holding back. I want him to overextend. The ball is in his court. As far as I'm concerned, he can play nothing at all this entire game. I'd be delighted to kill him with the Voidwalker. He throws down his Twilight Drake, reluctantly. With Nat on the field, that creature should have been a lot bigger, yet it's not. The Sun Fury Protector is the final drop, giving him some bold presence and a taunt to hide behind. I think it's time to make things interesting. I play my Doomsail. It's a very nice card, but not in the way one might think initially. You see, he destroys all minions at the beginning of your turn. He can only do so if he can still do so at the beginning of your next turn. In other words, he can't get silenced or killed beforehand. As anime has explicitly explained to us, people die when they are killed. Long story short, there are 3 scenarios. If the board is empty, your opponent can play nothing while patting himself on the back. This guarantees you a clear board next turn. Your opponent can have creatures but still be unable to kill the Doomsail. In this case, the board gets wiped. Scenario 3, the most common one, is what we are witnessing. Your opponent spends time and effort getting rid of the Doomsail. He can cast spells, use battle cries, spend the attacks of his creatures, all the while ignoring everything else until the Doomsail is dead. It's a damage magnet, as people call it. You can sometimes get away with casting him alongside other creatures. If they kill the Doomsail, disperse the minions on both sides. I've just killed Drake. Now would be time for him to summon some more creatures for me to eliminate with my abundant AoE. As you can clearly see, Deathwing is there, just in case I need even more board clear. Besides, that's one of the ways I can win. The Ancient of War presents a huge threat that I cannot easily dispatch this turn. Even if I could, I would hesitate to use Twisting Never against such a weak group of minions. There are no easy answers, especially with the way my deck is supposed to work. I decide to use a Gambit. To make a sacrifice.
So many possibilities.
I send out my Sunwalker. I sent her out to die. I sent her out to sponge up damage and give my opponent comfort and the audacity to extend his board control by throwing more creatures out at me. I sent her out to trade.
My shield for Argus.
A defender of Argus, a druid of the claw. I am more than willing to trade now. As turn 8 hits, I cast Twisting Never. Few things inspire more awe than the dead silence and the empty board as you slowly realize that everything that once was held is now irrevocably gone. Any shred of advantage my opponent might have had is almost all gone by now. He only has 2 cards left, nothing on the board, only the few extra crystals to keep him company. The time has come to summon Malagos. With this deck, almost every time I have him, it's the unattainable alternative. There's almost always something more urgent to take care of that gobbles up the necessary crystals. As such, whenever I can put him on the field, I do so. Malagos is another way out for this deck. Arguably the most improbable one. Against this guy, however, it should suffice. He threw down a Sun Fury Protector with nobody out there to protect her. He's grasping at straws now. Time to get even more meaningful board control.
I am the blade of the gods.
I get a taunt, improve my health, and eliminate the off chance of this tiny girl getting buffed into more of a nuisance. With 10 points of damage on the board, I feel fairly good about my chances. I know that my health is low, but that's just part of this deck's charm, as well as a common occurrence for most Warlocks out there. Her motto seems to be, hurt yourself a lot, but hurt your opponents even more. He did absolutely nothing aside from getting a single point of armor. I almost feel bad for him, but not quite. Time to heal myself up and strike. I've considered the possibility of this backfiring, but it seems unlikely. Let's put the Abomination on the field as additional protection, deterrent, and more face damage. He used Force of Nature. Basically, not that big of a deal. In the grand scheme of things, he has only managed to kill the Abomination, which only resulted in 2 points of face damage instead of 4. Even if he could swipe, it would accomplish very little. Even if he has Starfall, it won't come into play. It's simply too late.
Of course.
First, let me make absolutely sure that this will work. Alright, let's do this. I proceed to deal 8 points of damage to everything with Hellfire, thanks to Malagos. This has killed all my minions, including Malagos, all according to plan. The Ironforged Rifleman deals the final point of damage, giving me the victory. Goodbye, guys.